Silicon Valley, and the guy that ran it comes to like Intel and Hewlett Packard, and he had this idea about branding. The other interesting thing about Apple, I don't know if everybody knows this, but Apple was the name of a record company owned by the Beatles, and that's where the name Apple came from. And in fact, in the early days of the Beatle records, they had bites out of the Apple and the record. So, and it's ironic about this because we had to sign an agreement with the Beatles, that we wouldn't go into the music business. And guess what? Along came iTunes. So I think they recently settled that lawsuit, but it was very interesting. The branding became, the interesting thing about branding of Apple, which is dangerous on one side but brilliant on the other side, is Apple was branded by its product. Apple was branded by what the product does for you and how good it is and the quality of it and what it's going to do to change the world. It's not branded on an image of what you want the company to look like. It's branded on the product. And the other great thing about the branding, Steve is the spokesperson for the brand, and Steve is the product. Everybody talks about the phenomenon that Steve gets on stage and wows everybody. It's not Steve on stage. You're seeing the iPad 2, or you're seeing the iPhone. You're seeing the product in front of you. You're seeing this incredible enthusiasm about the product that comes across with the brand. And the other part of it was, even in the early days of Apple, when IBM finally entered the computer market, the first ad that Apple did was to welcome IBM seriously. It was a tongue-in-cheek jab at IBM, but it was from this upstart, tiny company that IBM probably didn't know existed the previous few years earlier, was poking a stick in their eye. So this sort of this entrepreneurial attitude about that we're going to go out there and change the world, that's really the essence of what the brand is. So the brand of any company, to me, has to be the quality of their product. What are they selling you? And the interesting thing, if you look on television today, most time Apple products come on television, they're showing you how to use it. They're showing the use of it. It's not just about some mamby-pamby process of like our product is the blue sky. They're actually showing you what it does. The other interesting thing about the Apple branding is it may show you what their competitors don't do. I mean, it's really a very direct relationship. But it's product branding, and that's the important part of what the Apple story is all about. The 1984 ad, by the way, a lot of people may not have been born by then, but the 1984 ad had been rejected by the board of directors in 1984. Steve should have got a message at that moment that there was a problem with his board of directors, but that ad was the first ad that sent people lined up around the sidewalk trying to get into a computer store. And if you think about it today, how many other brands do people line up around the sidewalk to get in the store? Even in Italy, they were lined up to get in the store for the iPad 2. The iPad 2 isn't a new product. It's a revision of an old product. You get people who are lined up around the sidewalk to get into it. And that's what to me, the power of product branding and having a spokesperson who is that brand. And that's what Steve is.